OMNICHROMA is a new material that was introduced in February at the Chicago Midwinter meeting, and it's a kind of a universal shade. It's the first composite that offers one shade to match almost any patient in almost any case. And so I'm going to show you some of that science behind that and show you some cases here and see if you can find a place in your practice where OMNICHROMA makes some sense. I think that you will. So real quick, to kind of get into this, we need to talk about, how shading is done. And teeth shades, even though there's a huge difference between A1 and D4, they all kind of fall into a pretty narrow spectrum of colors. In the vast, in the grand scheme of things, it really is a small little window, where the vast majority of teeth lie. And really what's interesting is even among this, right, which is a narrow window between A1 and D4, when you look at data from big laboratories, the vast majority of what is being ordered in this country by dentists is for indirect restorations is in this little area right here. So an even smaller area within that, right? So, we know that teeth kind of have a narrow window. Now, are there lighter teeth? Yes. Are there darker teeth? Yes. But in the grand scheme of things, that's a pretty small window that we're talking about. So, we're not talking about trying to, to really do anything really crazy here. We're talking about trying to match kind of this small little window. Now, most things in this world that we encounter on a daily basis, and certainly what we've used in dentistry, are coming to us from chemical color. So, the way chemical color is very simplistic. It's what we learned when we were young in elementary school and learned about color. For instance, this green plant has chlorophyll in it, and chlorophyll absorbs all of the wavelengths of light and reflects back only green. So that's what we see. So everything else is absorbed, and then what gets reflected back is the green. And so that's why chlorophyll looks green, why these paints, why this paint stripe right here looks green, is because it's absorbing all the other light and reflecting only the green light. So that's what our eye sees. So that's chemical color. That's how almost every restorative material in dentistry gets its color, gets its shade. It's by adding dyes and pigments, right? So there's specific shade of teeth, and they add stuff into the material to match, for instance, say an A1. And if you use that material on an A4 tooth, it's not going to match, right? Still going to be a good restoration, but it won't be this, it won't blend in as well with that A4 ceramic. What it's mentioned here on the side of the slide, S-Lite Sigma Quick is another great composite, and but it's shaded chemically, and so we have a small window of how we can use that and how we can match that. OMNICHROMA uses the smart chromatic technology, and it uses structural color, which is really the first material in dentistry to do that. No dyes or pigments or anything like that are added to it. It's actually the nanofillers in the material itself that help kind of derive shading from the tooth around it, and so that it kind of derives its shade that way. And so it has a very profound and impactful chameleon effect, which you'll hear. Other materials do have nice chameleon effects, but the chameleon effect would basically be, for most materials would be, well, if you used an A3 on an A3/5 tooth, it's going to blend pretty well. The problem is if you used a B1 on an A4, it's not going to, there's no material that has, chameleon effect that'll blend that, until you start talking about a material like OMNICHROMA that's using things differently, right? That's doing color a different way.